Hello everyone and welcome to another Italian folklore video. Today I will be talking about two mysterious figures from the folklore of the two biggest islands in Italy. I decided to talk about both of these myths since they share a lot of similarities, and I think it's interesting given that the land of origins are pretty far apart, but both have a tremendously long history. The Pettenedda and the Marabbecca are two legendary figures in Italian folklore, embodying fears and mysteries tied to the night and water, which are two major recurring symbols in popular culture. The Pettenedda originates from Sardinia, while the legend of the Marabbecca comes from Sicily, and these creatures arose from the collective imagination with the intention of explaining unnatural phenomena and to instill caution in children for a very dangerous place. Wells. Both figures derive from the ancient stories of the Mediterranean region that are passed orally from one generation to the next. In both islands, there is a lack of naturally occurring water sources at the surface, but both places were inhabited for millennia, meaning every population that has lived there has created wells. Water has always played a fundamental role as both a precious resource and a mysterious and sometimes dangerous force. In rural settings throughout the centuries, myths and legends like these were used to teach to the young the importance of prudence by adding a supernatural element to real-life dangers as to make the lessons more memorable. The presence of supernatural figures tied to watercourses, wells, and springs is no coincidence and can be found throughout history in many Italian regions. These places, often isolated, were essential to community life but still concealed real dangers. The Pettenedda, from Sardinian folklore, appears as a ghostly female figure seen brushing her long hair by springs or remote streams, often on nights with a full moon. She is described as a very old woman who spends her life combing her tangled hair, usually with her very long fingernails, without ever managing to comb them. Others say that she is a tormented soul condemned to endlessly repeat the act of brushing her hair. Sardinian mothers, to explain to children the noises that can be heard at the bottom of a well caused by the flowing water, created this character to stop children from getting close to any well. In particular, they were told not to lean over the opening to try and hear better, because the Pettenedda could then grab them with her enormous claws and drag them to the bottom, enslaving them for eternity. The Pettenedda serves as a warning for those who approach solitary waters in the Sardinian countryside. Anyone who sees or hears the sounds of her comb risks a terrible fate, possibly even a curse or the risk of vanishing entirely. The supernatural figure is also a reminder for people not to violate sacred spaces guarded by spirits like natural wells, which in the past usually held deep spiritual significance for the rural communities as a source of both life and spirituality. In Sicily, the Marabbecca is a creature that dwells in wells, embodying the darkness and dangers of these hidden and inaccessible places. Unlike the Pettenedda, the Marabbecca is not really human in appearance. It's often described as a ravenous or grotesque monster, hiding in the depths of wells, waiting to snatch anyone who comes too close. This legendary being has long been part of Sicilian children's home education to dissuade them from playing near cisterns and wells, where the risk of falling and drowning is very real. The Marabbecca serves almost as a guardian for these dangerous places, and it also represents the destructive power of water, an element that can be both life-giving and also deadly. It's speculated that both these figures come from the Moors, which is how North African population during the Middle Ages were called. Moors started their conquest of Sicily in the year 1827 up until 1060, with the invasion of Sicily by the Normans. Even so, the Moors' influence continued to be present on the island until the late 1200s. During that time, Sardinia also had close connection with the Moors populations, since the island was a perfect resting spot between North Africa and conquered Spain, meaning it became a valuable trade route. It's through these stories that the communities passed down the ideals of respect for nature and other symbolic places, preserving a sense of mystery and sanctity that remains even to this day. The Pettenedda and the Marabbecca are more than just folklore creatures. They embody ancient wisdom, reminding us that certain places deserve respect and that even in the modern world, there are places where humans must tread with caution. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.